Hi everybody, it's Amalthea. I thought what I would do is kind of a quick sample reading, I guess is what I want to call it. I have kind of a question in my head, and I have a specific spread picked out, and I'm just going to kind of share with you guys, you know, my ritual, if you will, for doing different spreads. And the deck I'm going to be using is Tarot of the Vampires. A lot of times I use this spread when I want a very specific answer, because the interpretations are just, it's so detailed in the book, which I always make reference to the book, whether I use my intuition or not, if I think my intuition is right or not. I do go to the book just for a little extra insight. There's no shame or blame in that. Don't let anybody tell you, you can't use the guidebook or, whatever. I am still learning, so every once in a while I do need the book to kind of, refresh myself on what a certain card means. So if I pause at some points, I'm probably looking at my book trying to kind of get a feel for what the cards mean. So what I do is once I have my cards all shuffled, which I do, I shuffled them before I started the video, I decide on a number. And what I mean by that is, certain numbers mean certain things. Like the number 6 is for protection, the number 2 is for partnerships and balance, things like that. So since I am doing a spread on, technically it's a partnership, it's a love spread, I'm going to use the number 2. So what I do is I do 1, 2, set it aside, and then the card underneath becomes the first card in the spread. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and it's just a 4-card spread. This is going to be nice and short. So I'm going to bring these back down here a little bit closer. Okay, and this is called the Will I Find Love spread. And as you can see, it's just 4 cards. And the first card is right here. And what I do, I flip from left to right. A lot of people flip, bottom to top, top to bottom, right to left. Whatever feels right for you. I've been told that you are supposed to stick to one way of doing things, so you kind of condition yourself to do it the same way every time. So, in flipping this over, this is Temperance, and there's something that's out of balance with me when it comes to relationships. I believe Temperance is the card of balance, and in the right position, the right side up position, I believe it's all about having good balance and getting your priorities straight, just having everything under control. But since mine is in the reversal position, or they call it the shadow position in this deck, it represents a loss of temper, moving away from balanced emotions. It also applies to changes that I may need to take in my life, like maybe overcoming an addiction, controlling my feelings or negative thoughts. There could be any number of issues going on here. Difficulty relaxing could be a huge part of it. I get very nervous around guys, and I think that kind of plays into it. They can tell that I'm nervous, and maybe that just really turns them off. And it's also an inability to make decisions, which I think is absolutely correct. I sometimes do have a problem bringing myself into balance, just relaxing, and just being me. Sometimes I feel like I have to be somebody different, and a lot of people, there are some intuitive people out there who can pick up on that, and it's not so good. This next card is it represents in what way I'm ready or not ready for love. So let's see here. And I got the Fool reversed. And you know, in the right side up position, this card is about, you know, taking a chance and doing what you will, and you know, not letting anybody hold you back. So this kind of has me a little worried. But see, what's good about this is it says that it's not the same as most cards when it's in its reversed form. This means that I'm not using the skills of the Fool to my best advantage in my situation. You know, I daydream too much, you know, taking exaggerated risks, being foolhardy. You know, I'm taking everything to an extreme, which isn't good. And it also mentioned in the book about intoxication, you know, drinking and going out and, you know, doing that thing. Maybe that scene is not where I need to be to meet the love of my life. You know, I just kind of go with what my friends do. A lot of them have met their significant other, you know, at a bar or a dance club or whatever, and, you know, I think this is telling me that I need to just settle down, and maybe that's just not the scene for me. Maybe that's not where I need to be. This next card is What Do I Want from Love? And this is the Lord of Knives. Now the lords in this deck represent kings. So, and this is one of those cards that I'm not so sure about. So I'm going to look it up real fast here. And it should be right here. 10. The Lord of Knives. Okay. So, in its essence, it is active and dynamic thought, you know, perceptiveness, reason, logic, intelligence. So, in my opinion, I think this is describing more of maybe the person I am looking for, the kind of person I'm looking for, what I'm looking for in a man. Methodical, imaginative, versatile, social, articulate, stimulating conversations. And that actually hits it right on the dot. That's exactly what I want. You know, I don't want somebody who's just going to sit there in the background and, you know, just kind of look around like, okay, why am I doing here? What am I doing here? Why am I here? I want him to be confident in himself. I want him to, you know, be outgoing like I am, and really want to have a lot of fun. So that is absolutely spot on. And the last card is Where I Can Find This Love. And this is the Star. And it tells me that there's a lot of hope in finding this man here. There's a lot of hope. There's light shed on the situation. So even though I may be doing some things wrong, it's all going to turn out okay in the end. And I believe, I feel with this reading that I am going to end up finding him, and maybe it won't be as soon as I would like. Maybe it'll take some time. But essentially, I think what this is telling me is that I'm going to meet the love of my life at some point, and it's all going to work out and be okay. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye.